Hi, this is Bill Denton, and welcome to Up with Life. Today's topic is interesting. The only way to God. John chapter 14 and verse 6, Jesus said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. You know, some statements don't ease their way into our minds. They land hard. They demand a response, and that one, straight from the mouth of Jesus, is exactly that kind of statement. We live in a culture that values opinions and options. We like menus, not mandates. We want room to negotiate, to reframe, to soften the edges of anything that feels too absolute. And honestly, that instinct shows up inside the church too. I've heard Christians, people who claim to follow Jesus, say things like, well, I'm not sure Jesus is really the only way, as if hedging is somehow more loving, more open-minded, more reasonable. But let's not soften what Jesus actually said. Let's look at the end of that verse first. No one comes to the Father but through me. Not few people, not those who haven't heard of another way. He said no one. That's a hard wall, not a suggestion. Now back up to the beginning of the statement. I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's three claims, and each one is enormous all on its own. When Jesus says he is the way, he's not handing you a map and wishing you luck. He's saying, I am the road itself. He doesn't point you toward God. He takes you there. When Jesus says he is the truth, he's not simply teaching accurate doctrine. He's saying, I am the full revelation of who God is. His character, his will, his nature, all of it made visible in a person. When Jesus says he is the life, he's not offering a lifestyle upgrade or a moral framework. He's saying, I am the antidote to the death that sin brought into this world. Not a better version of life, life itself. And then he closes it off. One way, one truth, one life. Now people will search everywhere else, and they do. They search with crystals and meditation and self-discovery and ancient rituals, made-up gods, the universe, the cosmos, the divine spark within. The list is long and it grows every year. None of it's new. Humanity has always been creative in finding alternatives to the God who actually exists. But here's the unavoidable reality. The God who created everything, who sustains everything, who rules over everything, he will not be found in any of those places. Why? Because he has already told us where he can be found. Yeah, it's narrow. It's restrictive. Jesus never pretended otherwise. But think about why. The goal isn't comfort. The goal isn't inclusion for its own sake. The goal is to actually reach God, the real one. And if there's only one path that gets you there, then knowing that path isn't a limitation. It's a gift. Jesus is not one option among many. He is the way, the truth, and the life.